it is getting intense. Yeah.
Ladies, I want to see you back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up.
Welcome back, my G's, to View It, Review It. Welcome back to my channel. I am back to talk about the most gripping piece of British TV we have going at the moment, and that's Line of Duty. Yeah. If you check my previous videos, I did a breakdown video of the first episode. I've been doing rundown clips of the previous episodes on TikTok, which you can find in my description. It's Tyrion Day on all platforms. But the last episode, I had to come back on YouTube and talk about it because it is getting intense. Yeah. So let's get straight into it. At the end of episode 4, we had a little revelation that Joe Davison was related to somebody in the police database. It was a guy, it wasn't a police officer, but it's someone who has previously been in the police database, so more or less it would have been a criminal. I needed them to tell us who it was that first scene. I was already waiting. We had so many theories, but the top person that I think most of us guessed was Tommy Hunter. So basically her and Tommy are related some way, somehow. That's not the bulk of it. They found traces of homozygosity in the DNA, which mean there are traces of the same DNA in Joe's mother and father. Joe is basically Tommy's daughter as well as her niece. The fuck?
What?
They also said that Joe's mother is dead, so the theory that they are using her mum against her for her to work with the OCG is kind of dead in the water. I think the main theory is that the OCG are using her connection with Tommy against her to make her work with OCG. As much as Kate has been annoying me this season, Sis kind of played it smart this episode. She went to Joe and told her that she found a possible location for the OCG workshop, but to avoid leaks, she briefed the team and told them not to leave, took away their phones and made their way to the location. You could tell that PC Ryan was stressed. We then later on learned that there were 3 different locations for the workshop. The one that they went to, that's the only one they briefed the team on. We also learned that AC-12 were there surveilling the place and they saw PC Ryan take out a burner and either make a call or send a text. Once they clocked that there was different locations, they made their way to the location and it all popped off. We saw a couple man from the OCG there. Armed police came in. Steve is funny because one episode he's been doing all my back, my blood clot back. And then another episode he's doing,
she's a runner, she's a track star.
Sir, which one is it? Are you in pain or what you did? Are you hopped up on painkillers? What's happening? Because man was running. Once they got to the other locations and Joe Davison realised that AC-12 were involved, obviously she wasn't happy. You could also tell that she spotted one of the men who was part of the OCG. If you remember, I want to say one of the early episodes, maybe episode 2, we saw someone drop off a burner for Joe Davison and it was one of the guys who was killed in the workshop. People have been talking about Steve's back, but we need to talk about Chloe's back because Chloe has been carrying this investigation on her back, yeah? Sis must have pain because without Chloe, none of these investigations would be moving. Sis does the work. Sis comes with facts and figures. Sis comes with results. All Steve does is just go and report them to Hastings. Hello? Give Sis the accolades that she deserves because without her, we wouldn't know anything. We wouldn't know any information.
Black women.
She's doing her job, you know. Like, rate her. Can we just rate her? Thank you. We then find out what Jimmy Lakewell told Steve Arnott in the police van that he told Gail Vella to investigate the Christopher Lawrence case. And this is part of the reason why I say Line of Duty is a bad man show. They are very integral in their storyline. So the Christopher Lawrence case, if you notice, is a combination of real life Stephen Lawrence case who died in a racial attack and Christopher Adler case who died in police custody. So they basically combine the storylines. It's also Stephen Lawrence Day on April the 22nd, which is this week. For a country who says there's no institutional racism, I feel like the writers were like, okay, sure. Gail Vella was investigating the Lawrence Christopher case, which involves some of the big names that we have seen. Tommy Hunter's son. Also learned that a previous officer called Marcus Thurwell was in charge of the case. So it seems that Tommy Hunter may have got Marcus Thurwell to throw out the case to protect his son. Basically, the gist is that someone high up now in the police force would have benefited from Gail's death to silence her on the Christopher Lawrence case. Even though it's a case that was happened in 2003, that's the current theory in terms of why she was killed. So that's like progress in her investigation. Everything is just coming full circle. Steve is also doing too much. He's investigating Hastings because he's been suspicious of his movements. He found some money in John Corbett's wife's house and he got that tested and it matched the money that was taken from Hastings when he was investigated, when he was arrested, I think in season 5. Because the total sum of money that they said was given to Hastings was 100 grand, they only found 50k. There was no evidence that the extra 50k existed. So when it now turned up at Stephanie Corbett's house, Steve put 2 and 2 together and was like, this is where the money came from. He then got confirmation from Lee Banks that Hastings was the one who told him that Corbett was a mole, which got Corbett killed. So if Steve is smart, he would realise that maybe Hastings was guilty, so that's why he gave Stephanie Corbett the money. If that's the case, let it be. Let sleeping dogs lie. What's your own, my G? Who sent you? Who actually sending you? Because what are you going to do with this information? Are you going to report him? This man is retiring anyway. What's your own? Let it go. If you want to be with Stephanie Corbett, if you want to do whatever, because your back is stopping you from even having sex. So I feel like we have more pressing matters. Instead of him to answer his emails from the occupational health guys, like, sir, you have more pressing matters to worry about than judging up old cases. Like, let it go. Like, I just don't get it. Just let it go. Thank you. We saw Jo in this episode try her hardest to get out of working with the OCG. The person she's been talking to on the laptop basically told her that her time is up. They blame Kate for the death of the 2 guys from the OCG and to get rid of her. And Sis was like, okay, if that's the case, this is my last job. And they said, definitely. If you remember in the previous seasons, there was always this thing that whoever H is, they spelled the word definitely incorrectly. And it was the same spelling that we saw when they were talking to Jo. So whoever Jo's talking to is most definitely, probably most likely H. Kate has also been annoyed that Jo has been a bit distant. They tried to meet up in the end. Jo was acting dodgy and saying that she does want to meet in a public place and told Kate to meet her in a different location. Obviously, Kate, using some sort of brain cells that she has left because she's been moving mad this season, sent that address to Steve. They ended it with a standoff between Ryan and Kate. There was 2 shots, but obviously we don't know who got shot or if anyone got shot until the next episode. I screamed at my TV because I was like, shoot the man. As soon as he let off a shot towards Jo, Kate should have shot him there and then, like, no time wasted. We've got about 2 episodes left. There's a lot of theories of who H could be. I think the person in the lead at the moment is Chief Constable Philip Osborne. I feel like I don't really want it to be him because it'll be too obvious, but he seems to be the most sus person that they have at the moment. Also, Patricia Carmichael, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with her. It's like, I get what she's trying to do, but it's a bit sus because when Jo set up a meet with Kate, that's when Patricia Carmichael came in and said, I'm pulling all the surveillance you have on people, which was an order given by Chief Constable Philip Osborne. So her coming in and saying that, you know, they're merging AC12 and she's the new boss in charge, basically was just like, sis, I get what you're trying to do, but now's not the time. I don't think Patricia Carmichael is dodgy. I think she's just trying to do her job. She still may take over the AC12, which is fine. It might be Hastings' time to go, but we'll see what happens. I'm really excited for the next 2 episodes. There's so many theories flying around. I kind of want H to be someone we least expect but also makes sense if this is meant to be the last season. I feel like when they announced this season, they said it was the last season, but people are saying that it's not. There's been no real like confirmation. If it is the last season, as long as we find out who H is, I'm cool with that because I think it's good to end on a high, then keep going, and that it just kind of doesn't hold up to previous seasons. So yeah, I'll be back next week with another breakdown of episode 6, which will be the penultimate episode. I cannot wait. It is the most entertaining piece of British TV we have at the moment. Everyone is hooked. British police dramas are A1 in this country. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me on my socials, Twitter, Instagram. I'm on TikTok now as well. All my socials are in my description. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and also hit the notification bell so you are notified when I post another video, and I shall see you on my next review. Bye.